welcome to the Raising Kellan Podcast. My name is Marsh Naidoo and I blog at raisingkellan.org, where we curate resources for parents raising children with disabilities. In today's episode 125, I chat with Vanessa Naidoo, who is a pediatric occupational therapist based in private practice, and she is located in Hernando, Mississippi. And every year she puts together a gift list for her clients, and she has kindly shared that with us on the podcast today. I would highly recommend that you discuss some of these ideas with your PT, OT, or speech and language pathologist to see if they are suited for your child. This episode is brought to you by Teletherapy Services, your online physical therapy provider. As always, remember the content provided on this podcast is for your information only. And if you seek advice for your specific situation, to contact a trained professional. So grab that cup of coffee, put your feet up, and get ready for some awesome conversation. Vanessa, welcome to the Raising Kellan Podcast, my friend.
Hi, Marsh. Hi, viewers. How are you all doing? I know that this time of the year is just crazy. There's so many things going on. It's between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's just like almost like a downhill landslide avalanche kind of a scenario between Thanksgiving and then people trying to do Christmas shopping, and buying gifts for kids, and it's a challenge. I've tried to try to find toys that enhance abilities, but also at the same time will provide some enjoyment.
Oh my gosh, my friend.
And I think that parents sometimes struggle with your teenagers.
Vanessa, what would be some of those picks for teens that you would recommend?
Well, I always love experiences. I always think, you've got preteens, and what can be an experience for them? Like your girls, your boys, you want them to focus at that age. I see my biggest problem is grooming with kids and kids' selection of clothes. Mm-hmm. They struggle with those things. And, parents always want to, especially with special needs kids, parents struggle with finding the right balance with promoting independence in the child, as well as their own, what they want, for their child. So I always encourage parents to maybe let's think outside the box. Maybe we can go to Ulta or Sephora and see whether you can get maybe a little makeup lesson for your child, for your teenager, to give them a gift card, but at the same time, let's go do let's see if we can learn how to use makeup. And of course, they can learn it from TikTok and these YouTube channels and stuff like that. But it's also nice for them to get pampered too.
Yes.
While getting that financial independence also of getting their own gift card and learning from a professional at Sephora. They get a lot of training on what will be the best bang for their buck.
It's like a life skill, especially. Yes, definitely.
Yes. And I think that it's important. I really think it's important for kids to get that input. And you could do it with clothes as well, doing the same thing.
How would that work for clothes, Vanessa?
For clothes now, you could go to like Target really has a lot of things online for special needs kids
Right.
for them. Okay. But I would suggest going to Target or even a local department store, or even better still, using a smaller boutique in your area
Right.
and support local stores
Nice.
that will actually, have that personal touch there, because they always, I love the local stores in my area, and they ever so willing to not only, get that money from you, but they're willing to help people, with choosing clothes and things like that. That's the biggest issue with your preteens, is that emerging young adult, but also it's, their awareness, their body awareness, their self-identity, their self-esteem. It's all a big issue. And especially if you have self-esteem issues, yes, it is a struggle. Okay, let's get back to some other stuff.
Okay, we are going to do our Christmas gift list for 2024. Take it away, Vanessa.
Okay, so let's go. Okay. So I've categorized. Oh, I've had so many categories. I could not narrow it down. Now for your younger kids, they at Target they have this really great range. It's called Lovevery. Have you heard of Lovevery?
I haven't.
Now Lovevery you can buy from the website, and you can buy from Target as well. And Lovevery is like a subscription based, if you get it from the website, and they have the most beautiful curated toys, beautiful colors, multi-dimensional toys for your younger kids, but also I can't remember the age range, but they are just beautiful, long-lasting toys that are so multidimensional, working on so many skills, movement, tactile, like all the sensory needs for your younger 0 to 3. And I've looked at a lot of the toys for your 0 to 3 years old, and these Lovevery is one of the best type of toys that I've seen that are very Montessori kind of based. And the owner of Lovevery did a lot of studies and looked at how can she get like neurodynamic toys that will target like all your sensory needs, besides just being working on those developmental play skills for each of those ages and stages. I've looked at also for your younger school younger kiddos. They have at Amazon and Costco, we've got a lot of pillow forts. Have you ever come across the pillow forts?
Yes.
Okay. And they are so much like, I love the idea of a gift for that involves seating and like comfort and that luxury, and it's not that expensive now. It's kind of affordable.
One thing you had on this list that I had not heard of before, Vanessa, was a zero gravity beanbag.
Yes.
I haven't even seen that before.
I want one myself so much. I just think it is amazing. Like the zero gravity beanbag. Have you ever sat in one?
No, I haven't.
You wouldn't want to wake up. I mean, I think the parents are going to be actually fighting over it themselves.
I want to mention one more thing. I'm just going to maybe backtrack a little bit. There was
Yes.
something else that you talked about in terms of cooking lessons, which I thought was such
Yes.
a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I know I'm going down this list because I got so sidetracked with you, Marsh, I have to admit. So cooking lessons, I think it's a fabulous thing to honestly, and the way I thought about it is that it's the same thing, cooking, sewing, whatever. Getting getting your child, and I say child loosely because they hate being called child, when they get older. But honestly, if you get somebody from the community, somebody from church, get them like a gift voucher to have 1 hour or 2 hours of a cooking lesson of something that they can learn to cook, that they love to eat, or something that's healthy for them. I mean, I think it's a gift for life. The
Really.
child is always going to remember how to make it. And I think it's great to use your community people, to engage with that so that we just remove that stigma of our kids being special needs, because we want them to be as independent as possible. We don't want them to always be dependent on us, you know. And I mean, cooking is always a good thing. Cooking, sewing, there's so many things. Like even I think like getting a session with a personal trainer.
Yes,
And
that's awesome.
and I think that at my gym, they have a lot of trainers there that work with special needs children and young adults. So I think that that's the way forward in order to not make our special needs children and young adults always think, oh, working out it's supposed to be in therapy. This is a way of doing it in a very dignified, I think it's in a more appropriate way, because we want to remove the stigma. And I mean, this is a great gift, long lasting. I mean, the benefits of this gift is far reaching than just a gift. And that's what I want our Christmas gifts to be. I want it to be like meaningful in such a way that it's more than just a tangible gift in your hand, but something that's going to be memorable. And that's why I included these experiences, because I think having a session with a personal trainer, cooking lessons, sewing lessons, anything related to that is excellent.
I agree, Vanessa, 100%. Another item that she had on here that looked really interesting, and I hadn't heard of this before, was a wiggle car.
Yep. So if oh my goodness, they have these wiggle cars that are electric. And if you get, and I think like on the TikTok shop, but it's so good. And it's electric, it's affordable, it looks like so much of fun. It involves like looking at, the vestibular skills. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's Bluetooth. It's got like light up wheels. I mean, like if I could put on one, I would use it.
The Tonie box?
Tonie box, yes. It's so cool. It is, it's like really like an audio player system. And I love it because it's so different from your iPad. This just promotes like that imagination, that spark of imagination, listening to an audio player with stories from ranging Paw Patrol to Disney stories. It's screen free, and it just sparks imagination. I think that this is an excellent toy working on auditory comprehension and just your imaginative play that children are just lacking in, with all the toys and video gaming and things like that. But this sparks so much of creativity and imagination. And then this is really a cheap item here. The one I had them with the magnetic dots at the end.
Uh-huh.
So basically you use that pin,
Right.
okay, and you can like pick up the magnetic dots line by line, and then they have so many of these, it's cheap, all under $20, and it's excellent for promoting your grasping skills.
Okay.
While trying to work on making a pattern with those dots. It's I love it because especially you have kids with visual perceptual issues, and it promotes that tripod grasping, so it's really good. I love it, and it's so addictive and calming. I love things that align with hobbies. And this is my thing, is that a hobby provides, children have lost that touch about hobbies. If you ask children, what are your hobbies?
They won't know.
Yeah, so I love things, and I guess it's that OT in me as well. So anything that's going to, you have all these kids that are gamers, yes, but I like the idea of children returning to hobbies, and learning. I have boys that are learning how to crochet now. I mean, all those little old skills, I want them to come back. So I've included, I put on sensory toys on my other list, okay? And that is for your kids that like that deep pressure. And these are so affordable now, your weighted blankets and your lap pads, and they're excellent for children. And
Vanessa,
parents love it too.
What's the deal with that Bluetooth connectivity for the lava lamp? What is, I don't understand what that does.
So the lava lamp, it'll play according to your music. And they even have a lamp that I think it's like $25 on Amazon, but it is perfect for a teenager's room. And it's a floor lamp. It's like a paper shade, kind of like your Japanese paper lanterns, but it's a floor lamp. It's $25, and it has different colors. If you're trying to work on a teenager's room and you have like a beanbag, the zero gravity beanbag chair, and that lamp there, it's amazing. This is something that I always encourage parents to get. It's the emotion card or games. And you can find so many of these. Like have you heard of Knowledge Tree? I'm sure you've heard of the Knowledge Tree.
Yes.
Okay, Knowledge Tree has them, Target has them, Amazon has them, and they are so good for kids of all ages, promoting like that emotional development and self-esteem, working on like your verbal expression skills. And I just love it because they have so many different types of emotion games out there. Does Kellan ever have, like, if he's frustrated about something and play,
Yeah.
and how do you express yourself? How do you tell someone that you are struggling with something?
Yeah, that's the presently the issue is like, tell me why you are feeling this way so we can understand. But it is so overwhelming that crying is the easiest way.
So, working through those issues, that frustration, working through that is very good. But how do you work through it where it becomes easy for him? Because it's all good and well is telling Kellan, okay, take some deep breaths. Let's just work. Explain to me, or tell me how you feel, or let's prevent it getting to that point where he starts crying and shutting down. Playing a game with a child is so much more non-threatening. And it's also developing that frustration tolerance too. So there are a lot of emotion games out there that can help him with that verbal expression skills, because it's hard. It's hard explaining to yourself. And I mean, Marsh, don't get me wrong, you're a cool mom and all of that, but after a while, our kids, my kids don't think I'm cool at all. So, we lose our wow factor a whole lot.
Right.
So it's extremely hard, so I always, you just don't understand, you don't understand how I feel or whatever, and get used to that, because they're going to say that a lot, I hate it. I just hate it, They always think that we were never young once, Have you heard of exploding emotions?
No, ma'am, no.
And skill easy, those are extremely good games for them. And, acting out an emotion is so much fun. So, they have making faces, guess the emotion, the way I feel story game, making up a story, like the story cube, matching emotions as well. There's a ton of them. Like a whole lot of. I have so much fun with my kids. It's such a passion for me, working with kids.
Oh,
and I think, I always say to someone, to all my friends, I think I've healed my inner child through my job, because I enjoy it so much. It's so much of fun doing, it's fun, it's rewarding. Of course, it's frustrating and sad at some times, but you know what? The rewards of seeing, so much. It's a gift for me, to work with the clients that I have.
Oh, Vanessa, I just want to take this time to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and your amazing creativity and ideas for kids to enjoy these gifts that will keep on giving beyond Christmas. So thank you so much, Vanessa.
Thank you so much, Marsh. I love you. I appreciate you. And I think you are just doing the most fabulous job ever.
As always, thank you so much for listening along on the podcast today. We truly do appreciate your support. Also, we do appreciate you sharing this episode with other friends who might be seeking this advice. I am super excited to be bringing you an amazing episode the next time. I'm going to be interviewing Dana Lynn Rosenbush, who is a speech and language pathologist and host of the Language of Play podcast. So be sure to join us for that episode as well. And as always, remember, get to the top of your mountain. This is Marsh Naidoo signing off.